All right, people, your boy Man Mike here, sitting with you guys on a Wednesday night. I know it's a little bit different. Jew, I forgot his name. Good grace, how can I forget people on my own staff? Jew Talk Sports will not have a show tonight. Cam, like, you really gonna take my? Hey, I see. I do that every show. Oh man, hey man, Jew Talk. He got some. He got some other things to kind of take care of tonight. But myself, your boy, to my this way, whatever that way is. Who it is? Who is this guy right here?
They already know by now. It's your boy. I'm just K-Style. 6 man. You already know what the deal is.
All right, man. We got a special guest, if you will. My boy TJ from the FILA Sports Podcast. He will have his own show really soon. So TJ, tell the people about yourself, man.
Hey man, lifelong Hawks fan, lifelong Falcons fan, lifelong Braves fan. I mean, I grew up in Atlanta my whole life, so couldn't get away from it. You know, I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan. Don't ever associate me with Tech. That is one thing I want you to say. I want this to be
I'm about to say, don't start that now. Don't start that now.
I just want to be known.
We the little brothers right now.
Y'all got Jeff Sims. I'm actually hype about the future of Georgia Tech, but my show basically covers all college football. Not a lot of Pac-12. I'm telling you now, if you're like an Oregon fan, you're not gonna hear a lot about that from me because I'm the ACC, SEC, Big 12 games that come on during the day. It's a late night show. It'll be on like 11 after the late night game. So yeah, definitely. I'm probably gonna do the Georgia Clemson game live if you want to come in and watch. Yeah, but it's all on FILA. Most of you guys know where that channel is. If you don't, I'll make sure Michael, I'll post this on my page, my Twitter's and my handle too.
Yeah, man. Well, again, man, Colin Tyrone on the FILA Sports Podcast. You guys can check that out.
You're doing it wrong, Mike. You gotta do it like this. Colin. All of your sports needs.
Boy, you never stop. You never stop, man. Let's get into this. Terry Fontenot. I don't know how you guys say it. I just call Terry Fontenot. But he has some interesting things to say. What exactly did you guys want? Like, Tyrone, what exactly did you want to get into? Because for me personally, like the restructure, a Matt Ryan restructure, I think a lot of people took that completely out of context of what he was trying to say, and not just him. You know, for me personally, I think I'll give my second, but like, what exactly in the interview that you want to elaborate on? Talk about?
My thing was with the whole restructure. I feel like people didn't really listen to how he said it. Like, Matt Ryan being restructured is not a bad thing. I'm not, and I know people are gonna hate. If you don't like Matt Ryan, you're not gonna like me because I love Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan been my quarterback. And everybody's like, well, he was 0-1. Vic got drafted the year I was born.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not my quarterback.
Oh, right.
He was number one pick, 2001.
Yeah.
He's not my quarterback. I grew up with Matty Ice in the pocket since his rookie year. Like, and I don't even remember the years between Michael Vick and Matt Ryan. It was just like a blur until Matt Ryan, and I've had Matt Ryan my whole life. And so when people don't understand the success we had, and I want to point out something. It was another show. It was Chris Collinsworth's show. He was like, "You guys haven't been in like the top 5 in 13 years. Why do you like people? I don't think people understand that 13-year success. Like we've had a good quarterback, we've had like he came in and got blessed with Harry Douglas. He got Tony Gonzalez. He got Julio. We just never had a defense. So I love that Terry talks about money a lot. I love that he talks about like he wants to make sure, and he said something in the interviews like I want sustained success. That was a key point for me because when we haven't had sustained success. Like some teams like look at what Kansas City did. We went to Super Bowl 1. Next year we went back to Super Bowl. There's not a lot of teams that can do that except New England with Tom Brady, or Tampa Bay might do it this year. I don't think so. I don't think Tampa Bay makes it out this year. Aaron Rodgers never has the same success. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Never had sustained success. Like he's had regular season success, never in the playoffs. Like so, and we need that. We need players that are going to be here for more than just 2-3 years, and we can't sign them back because we ain't got no money. So the restructure was not bad because he's trying to space out money. Everything now with Grady Jarrett is going to be a free agent in 2-3 years. You got Debo's coming out again. Is going to be in his contract. You're probably going to extend him. Michael Walker, if he comes out and be a star in the Dean Peas, you're going to want to keep him. You got to pay AJ. It's a lot. Kyle Pitts, he's here 5 years, but down the line, we still got to pay these guys more. And hopefully the cap increases because of COVID. It dropped this year, but hopefully it increases. And we just got almost how many? I don't even remember how much that contract was with Julio, but it was a lot of money, and that's off the books at this point. So I'm not. I like it, man. I'm happy for it.
Hey, that's. I think you're right on that. I think one of the major reasons. K-Style, what do you think, man? What do you think about that?
Hey, but before we get to that, let's go ahead and hit this new member.
Oh man,
new member, Maurice Ames.
Maurice, appreciate you.
Pick up
the pieces.
New member, we appreciate you, homie. But yeah, like I said, the restructure. If you look at the aspects of it, like we have to remember the 66. Well, it's 66, but it's 64 plus something starts this year.
Yeah.
Julio was actually going to be the highest paid player on this team. Now, we've heard Terry Fontenot, we've heard Arthur Smith already say, we're not rebuilding this year. We're trying to win now, but we're trying to establish a culture for down the line. The Matt Ryan restructure, I'm not surprised. I mean, if you actually, and I think that's where a lot of people and Tyrone, this is why I call them Matt Ryan obsessors, because people look for the failure. They don't care about winning. They just want to see him fail. You have to look, even with the money that he was making, he was only taking about 17% of the salary cap. Like you said, even if you like with the Kyle Pitts thing, I'm gonna kind of go to the Kyle Pitts thing. You want to get a future playmaker for your future quarterback,
right?
Yeah.
Why not get the best available playmaker for the next quarterback?
Yeah,
and that's the mindset they was having. Like you said, they're not looking for we just trying to win this year. They want to look at we want to win this year, next year, 5 years down the line.
And that's exactly it.
I mean, that's what it is. And like I said, if a lot of people don't kind of grasp that concept of, well, we want to win now and later, instead of thinking, well, because the issue is the people that don't like it, they're looking more so we're going to win later. They don't care about the now.
Yeah. Really, yeah.
Absolutely. Before we get to my point, I want to point out, The only reason why I'm even reading this is because you gave me some money. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You give some money, you can talk all that shit.
You can talk all day. Hey man, AJ, I don't know how the hell
Capalot. Yeah. But look, the name said to me, AJ Capsalot.
Hey man, I can't wait to go 5-12. And the next one that he had was we suck, but I respect it. Like
I feel like people have these expectations for us that don't make sense to me. They really don't.
Hey man, talk. Go ahead, because
see, the thing is, it's not an expectation. It's the fact that this regime is not getting the players that they want, and they don't give a damn about that.
They don't care about the brand. They care about who they want on this team. It's not a brand thing for a lot of people in Atlanta. Because let's think about, and I cover basketball, but everybody that's in here it goes on FILA knows I cover basketball a lot too. When the Hawks got good, who was the first person they started talking about contract wise? It was one person, because he fouled out one game, then he came out the next game and scored like 20. Then the next game he got bad again. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's not really showing no effort." You can't be mad. And then as soon as we got to losing to the Bucks, I don't think we need to bring John Collins back. And there's not even real Hawks fans. I ain't seen you all year. I haven't seen you talk about the Hawks all year. Man, I don't know if we should bring John Collins back. He just doesn't seem like we can go get Kawhi. We can go get Kawhi in free agency. Why are we spending money on a guy that's 30-something that we don't know how long he's going to play? And Kawhi has that energy where he might retire early. And now with this ACL thing, he really might retire early. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It just feels like when people say that, they want that person that they really want, really and truly. That's who they want.
And that's what it comes down to. A lot of people want look, I always say this, and I'm gonna try to keep it as cordial as I possibly can, and keep it as nice as I possibly can, is that a lot of people treat sports as if it's like they are the general manager when they have no fucking clue on how to build a team. You have no clue what an X position, a Y position, like you have no idea what any of that is. And you don't know what the difference between a zone offensive line scheme and that's just a power scheme. You have no idea of what these things are. And you're trying to tell me that you want to bring in guys like, Kawhi or whomever. You know what I'm saying? You want to bring in a Justin Fields, for example. Like Justin Fields has never been a guy that's been he's never been a guy that has been accurate at all. He's not an accurate quarterback. What he is a guy who moves the chains. And I say move the chains, he moved the chains with his feet. He throws to the tight end and he throws deep. That right there is why he's in a spread offense. And that's the reason why, when you look at the Bears don't need him to put up 30 points a game. They need him to keep the clock churning. And that's why you draft a guy like Justin Fields. All right, keep the clock churning, score red zone touchdowns, rush the ball. Like they need him to be Cam Newton. They need him to be Cam Newton what Cam Newton was with the Carolina Panthers. So it's not so much they drafted him for his overall skills, because when you look at him as a passer, Justin Fields was never a guy that was a passer. He was a guy at Ohio State that played with amazing talent. We're talking about no wideouts. I forget the short guy. I always forget his name, but the tight end also. That tight end, like that dude, if he would have came out, he got a weird name. I can't even pronounce his damn name, but the tight end at Ohio State, that dude is huge. That dude is huge. His hands are excellent. So it's like you don't need accuracy to play with that type of talent. All right. Just need not to make a lot of mistakes, and play calling kind of helps with that. So when it all comes down to it, we got fans that want players on their team that they want, and it's not necessarily good for what the team and how Dean Pease calls things. Like I was talking about this earlier today. A lot of people want players that don't fit the scheme. You don't even know how Dean Pease calls a defense, and you're trying to get rid of guys like Isaiah Oliver. Like, you don't know if he's going to use Isaiah Oliver. You don't have any clue that Kenneth Sheffield is going to be a part of that defense. And you're trying to get rid of these guys. Let's see what Dean Pease does first, and then we can say, okay, this guy doesn't fit. That guy doesn't fit. Let's wait and see. And a lot of people just don't have the patience to sit and watch and wait for things to unfold. And that's the biggest thing in Atlanta. We haven't won a championship, so everybody's impatient. They want to get this person, they want to get that person, he's going to get us. Like, it's not like that. You got to wait and see. And as far as your John Collins, we're going to get to the John Collins. We're going to definitely get to that John Collins, man.
I want to shout somebody out real quick because he's always in my show. But Wallace, that's my guy.
Wallace
always in the building.
Always, man. That's my dude.
That's the homie right there.
But I want to say that another thing I like about the Terry thing, when he talked about Kyle Pitts, all of them did. I mean, and this is Terry and Arthur Smith. They loved Kyle Pitts so much, not based off of his game. It was more on his character. And that was the thing for me. And they said he's 20. He's the most mature 20-year-old we've ever seen. They both said it.
Mm-hmm.
And that shows you that, and we can say that Julio had good character up to a certain point. But it shows he's gonna be a guy that comes in and works. They always talk about his work ethic. And he has such good film that why wouldn't you take him at 4 over Justin Fields?
Bro, you're a dog fan. You're a dog fan. Tell the people what that man did to us, bro.
He had one of his best games versus Georgia, bro. Like and I always wanted to shout out Blake. He always plays the clip of when he remember he caught over 2 our receivers. Like it never stopped. Like, he is literally a wide receiver that's ginormous. Like, and people are saying Megatron. He's not Megatron. I think he might be a little bit faster than Megatron, really and truly. Like, and to put him out there as a jump ball, and we were talking about another guy, and this is not a guy I think we're gonna get, but N'Keal Harry from New England that wants out. He's not small. I thought he was small. He is 6'4" with a 3-foot vert. So he can get up. And I'm not gonna say it, but everybody's talking about he's not in shape. You got a guy in Cam Newton who came to New England with the highest expectations, had 2 good games, got COVID, and then the rest of the season it looked bad. And now you're gonna bring in Mac Jones, who he definitely doesn't want to play for. You bring him down here with an established quarterback. This is a setup. It's a setup for a lot of these guys. That if like free agency, I don't think y'all understand what we are right now. Like, to think about what we did this offseason, we are very attractive at this point. Because a lot of people like Arthur Smith and a lot of people like Terry Fontenot, they've been in their positions for years. So I mean, like, these are well respected. And you bring Dean Pease in, guys want to play defense. He's never had a bad defense. Like, I don't think people understand, like, really what we're bringing in. But Kyle Pitts is going to be here for years on years. He's only 20, man. Like, I'm not even 20 yet. And like that's the thing for me. Like I said, 20 next week, but 20, like, dude, you got years on years, and then hopefully he don't get injured, but you still have years on years of this man here in Atlanta. And then if we bring in a quarterback, you got that's like Roddy White when Roddy White was here with Matt Ryan got here and Harry Douglas. You got these 2 guys set up for him, and a new quarterback comes in, he ain't got to worry. Right. So that's how I feel. So he like, And Justin Fields was never going to fit in Atlanta because he can't read a defense, and he lost to Northwestern. Almost lost to Northwestern. Let me put it like that.
No, man.
But she really shouldn't have beat Clemson, but it's just a lot of things where you had a better chance in getting what's his name? Who won the championship for them? Who was his name? Was it JT? Was it
JT? It was JT. JT played.
He was a better quarterback. I'm not gonna say that because people are gonna get mad.
He was. He just didn't fit in with that. What they were doing. You see how he's playing with Georgia. He fits in with Georgia. Like JT is a guy that needs to. He needs to slow down. Like he's a guy. He's amped, and you got to do things to kind of slow him down. Like he plays fast, and if he starts out hot, he's going to continue to have. And he got massive. He reminds me of a lot of and don't kill me when I say this, but Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston has he has a massive ego, and he has crazy confidence in his ability to throw and make every throw. And that's not always a good thing. And JT Daniels, he's the same type of guy. He can make every throw. But the thing is, he believes that he can make it every throw, and he tends to not slow down and actually think things through. And that's something with Matt Ryan. When you see Matt Ryan, a lot of people, even the Super Bowl, everybody's like, well, why Matt didn't just throw the ball away? Why didn't he just, throw the ball away instead of taking that sack? Well, that's the thing. In K Styles, we can attest to this. Throwing the ball at that time would have stopped the clock. You take that sack so the clock can still run. So these like the small, intricate details that we always teach here. Quarterbacks have to understand that. Like if you bring in a guy like Justin Fields, and like I said, we've seen Justin Fields, and we've heard the news. Like even during spring. Like this dude he was inaccurate in practice. He couldn't beat out Jake Fromm. He couldn't beat out Jake
That's
Fromm.
The thing. And people don't understand that. You can't beat Jake Fromm, who's on the bench right now.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, for everybody that's talking about, it was because he's white. No, it was not. Because when he got in the game and we watched him get in the game, he couldn't read SEC defenses because he is not prepared. He is going to get, if he has anywhere touching of a start in Chicago, and don't let him start versus Green Bay. Don't let him start in a division. Let him play somebody in the AFC or something, because he is going to be lost. He is going to be absolutely lost. Like he's going to sit there and then people are going to question, why did you draft up for that, man? I mean, and I'm not biased, but and I know I saw Blake talking about Daniels is not better than Fields. Arm accuracy. You want to talk about and I watched film on both of them, bro. I watched Justin Fields since high school. He was a part of my high school class. I think he might have been a year before. He was like right in that same area. So I've seen him since high school, bro. It's not he played good in high school. That's why he was number one. He had a big arm and he could run. He was Cam Newton. That's really what he was. He was Cam Newton. And I don't know, man. People just felt like he was supposed to be the savior for Georgia. And I was like, y'all know we have Jake Fromm here. And I kept saying it. I was like, we have Jake Fromm. He's gonna come off the bench. I was like, I'm just like, this is, I don't know, man.
Because I was about to say, like, a lot of you folks know I'm a Tech fan, but I live in a house full of Bulldogs fans, so I have to deal with watching Bulldogs football. But like I said, I am a fair college football fan as well. So I tell, like, it was like I think what it was I think when he signed with Georgia, it was just more so of, I just want to be part of the hometown team. I don't think he really fit with what they wanted to do. But like I said, I ain't gonna say he can't completely read defenses. I just think the issue was he wasn't consistent. See, the one thing about a lot of people that don't talk about football, especially when you're playing at Ohio State, in college football in general, you have, like, especially a top 5 program, you have the best athletes around. So a lot of times your skill set is not really fully maturated yet because now you have all these skilled players that you have to worry about. Like I said, most people know I'm a Tech fan, and the triple option offense was not the move for us. So I've seen my share of terrible quarterbacks, and I think JT Daniels, you said he kind of reminds you of Jameis Winston. You have to remember he came from USC, so being injured over there and. Like I said,
it didn't help him. It didn't help him in California. Like to come over here this year, like he came on the torn ACL, which everybody was like, "When we gonna see JT? When we gonna see it?" And it was when we played Florida, they were talking about he was healthy. And I was like, okay, he should get in versus Florida because we needed a real quarterback versus Florida because Stetson Bennett, the mailman. And oh my god!
No! You can't call him the mailman. I got a nickname for him. I call him Elroy Jetson.
Yeah, like him or what is his name? What is the one? Who was the black quarterback we had? Everybody was so hype about. Tejuan Mathis. Like those guys were not going to beat Florida. They were not going to beat Florida either way. And it's so funny because Florida fans and I watched JT. I want everybody to go back. Watch JT Daniels' first 5 games in the SEC. He blew out Missouri in the rain. First off, he blew them out in the rain and cold and rainy. He beat that was his main game. That's the main game I really want you to watch. And that Cincinnati game, he showed nothing but composure that whole game because it was at a point where I thought we were about to lose to Cincinnati. And I was like, this is going to get ugly. And our defense saved us. I'm not going to lie. Our defense did save us that game. Azeez Al-Azari was just the dog in the fourth quarter. That's why, and for Florida fans, y'all didn't get the good Georgia team. I know y'all love to brag on that win, but you didn't get the Georgia team, the real good Georgia team. We were not good at that point. We were, I don't even think we were 5-0. That's what I like about Felipe. And I'm bringing it back to the Falcons. When Felipe is hot, and if you go look at Felipe tape when he's hot,
I may have been, and people said I was crazy for that. They said I was nuts for saying that.
No, when Felipe is hot, and he get his deep ball accurate better, and he can get better short game, and Florida fans hate him for some reason when he wasn't a good quarterback for them. Give Felipe some time, and you brought in Kyle Pitts. I think he played with Kyle Pitts.
I believe it was his freshman year.
Freshman year. I think it was freshman year.
Yeah, I believe it was his freshman year. Yeah.
Give Felipe some time behind Matt Ryan. That's all I'm gonna say, and let him develop his deep ball and let it be more accurate because he got an arm on him. When I was watching Arkansas tape, he's special, and people don't believe me. And people do not want to believe Felipe Franks is special. That's what I don't get about it. Bro, he got some talent in him. You give him some. That's why I say give him time. Somebody said, I saw that AJ McCarron comment. AJ McCarron came into this league because he was that was the only reason he got in here because he was not. He wasn't special. He was not a special quarterback at all. And it's funny because. Somebody might slap me, but Georgia Tech might have one of the best quarterbacks in the state with Jeff Sims. I think he's number 2 right behind JT Daniels.
He gives some love. Can't stop.
Jeff Sims is a dog, bro. Jeff Sims is a different breed of coach, and he fits that. He was never gonna come here with that triple option.
Oh hell no! Right. He definitely was. Look! In that triple option, they was better off scouting me as quarterback. That's how bad that triple option.
Bro, that triple option, and I love y'all. What was his coach name? I loved him as a coach. He just kind of sort of ruined y'all for a couple years. It was switch it up a little bit. You're not playing Army and Navy every year. You're playing the SEC, ACC.
Try to throw the ball. Try to throw the ball more. He didn't even try to do that more.
He was trying to run. He was running triple option 3rd and 19.
Dude, 2017 recruitment class. Do you know who our number 1 recruit was that year?
No.
Presley Harvin III.
Oh.
What? That's all you need to know.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh my
I don't even know, man. I just
Bro, when your number one recruit is a punter, something is wrong.
yeah.
That's
why he had to go. He had to go, bro. He was making Atlanta look bad. Like for y'all was like the Atlanta team because Georgia's not in Atlanta. It was like, okay, you got the Athens team. Atlanta was Georgia Tech, and y'all had some seasons where it was like, are y'all gonna beat Georgia this year? And then y'all beat Kirby. I think I've learned that y'all beat Kirby the first year, which I don't remember. But then it was just like Kirby was just spanking y'all. Like it was just like, bro, like
it wasn't even fair. It wasn't fair at all.
See, what a lot of people don't realize about that triple option is if you have a dominant defensive line that can get penetration, that triple option is no good.
Obsolete. It's obsolete at that point.
Exactly. When you got defensive tackles in the backfield before you even make your first read, yeah. And you running the ball 70 times a game, it ain't gonna work. It what it is.
I hope so. You know, and it's so funny. Like, and people are gonna call me weird. I want that to happen. I think I want Felipe Franks here for a couple years. Let him get it. If Felipe Franks starts 1 year, if you give him like 2 years at starter and he's not the guy, then you might want to move on. But if you give him a couple years as starters and see what he does, and people really don't think, and people don't know about him. I feel like people don't know because he wasn't drafted. It was a lot of quarterbacks in that draft that weren't drafted that might be good, but my one boy, he disappointed me. The black guy from the black boy, you know who I'm talking about. He got the one that got cut by the Eagles. We was talking about him, Mike.
Oh, Jamie Newman.
Yeah, Jamie Newman is a disappointment, bro, because he was so special. He was so special at Wake Forest.
I don't even know.
I can't even say he's a disappointment. I just say it's unfortunate with him more.
Yeah, he got and I blame his manager because what was that? Like, what was that advice saying you shouldn't play and you don't have that much film? You only started 2 years.
I never understood that decision. I never understood. Like, you're Jamie Newton. You played for Vandy. Like,
don't nobody care about you. Like, you played in the eight. You didn't really say, like, I don't know, man. That's just, I don't know, man. It just feels weird. It felt weird for him. His situation felt really weird, and hopefully he gets another chance somewhere. I don't know where. But
hold on, wait a minute, AJ. Nobody said Jeff Sims was better than those guys.
Oh no,
we said Jeff Sims is a better quarterback than Georgia Tech had the last 12 years.
That's what he said. Okay,
that's what he meant.
Now, imagine, and this is my thing. I'm gonna talk about it. Some of you guys can come on. I'm having a discussion about can JT Daniels win the Heisman this year. That is going to be my topic this year. If JT Daniels can win it. Now, we lost Pickens, and that hurt me.
Yeah, that he got torn ACL. The ACL.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I think we still got a good team. Like, bro, watching the spring game.
Oh yeah.
He threw that. Did you see the one? I forgot was to the tight end, but it was on a string. I mean, it was on a straight line. I was like, yeah, this is, I think he has a solid chance for me. I think he does.
I honestly think that JT is a first round pick. When you look at him, his ability to make the throws, like he can make all the throws, and he has a massive arm. Like the only thing that is, bothersome as far as, his weaknesses is just his leg strength. Like if he can work on his lower body, he's going to be a beast because like he has all the arm talent. It reminds me of Dan Marino. Like Dan Marino legs were trash, bro. But that arm,
it's about health for him. I think it's health for him. Like that whole ACL injury is going to make some people shy away. Right. If he comes out, but he came out healthy when he got it. He looked good. Yeah, so I think this year he really has to. I think he really he comes out this year and goes crazy. I think, and my bold prediction is him winning the Heisman, man. And it's a lot of people that don't want him to, because people think Sam Howell and Spencer Rattler are going to be just these gods among men playing in the Big 12 and the ACC. If anything, and this is, I have SEC bias. I grew up watching SEC football my whole life. That is the hardest division to play in football. I mean, in college football. There is no other division better than the SEC. So you can come out and say, oh, well, Spencer Rattler had, what would we say? He had like 4,000 yards. He played in the Big 12. You do 4,000 yards in the SEC, you're above.
You're a superstar. You're going up number 1, number 2 overall. You're doing that.
Yeah, like you're breaking a record with 4,000 yards because those guys. Look at the corners. The corners go one. Look, everybody was talking about if we trade down, who was gonna get the corner from Alabama? Like Marlon Humphrey. These guys in the SEC, they are built for speed. We have 3 of them. Debo, SEC. What other linebacker we have that's in this SEC? Like we had a whole. Remember we drafted Duke in the SEC Riley, like dope.
You got Duke Riley. You got a number of guys. White in Tampa Bay. Like he's the guy from LSU.
LSU is linebacker university.
Those dudes are they stay. They stay with linebackers coming out every year. And but like I said, man. It all come down to it. I'm gonna make a bold prediction. Also, I don't see Alabama is always Alabama, but when you look at what Georgia has the opportunity to do right now with the offensive line, you have a great quarterback who can throw every route without any issues. And JT Daniels and that defense, that's one thing about Kirby. He's going to have his defense ready. Like he's going to have his defenses ready. So I don't have my only issue with Georgia for the past few years is that they've been just so ancient. It's the same thing with the Falcons. They just don't want to be creative. Like it's the creativity with the lack of creativity with Georgia just burns. Like it burns me alive. I hate to see it. So it's like I truly believe Georgia's going to capture a national championship this year. Especially if JT comes out and do what we saw in the last few games last year. It's like, look, Dog's gonna be something. They're gonna be something special because they always have good running game, a good running back and a running game, and you couple that with a quarterback who can make all the throws, and he's seasoned. Like he's been. Yeah. Now he's been injured, but like he knows how to read. He played in big games, so it's like for me, I don't think outside of Alabama, I don't think a lot of teams are ready for the Bulldog this year, man.
I don't think Alabama has talent, a lot of talent, and everybody says they always have talent, y'all. They don't always have talent in Alabama. Like if y'all want to go back some couple years, they weren't the best team in the West. And it was wasn't it? The Auburn was it for a little bit. The West was more open than the East was. Remember the East dominated. We had Tennessee, we had Georgia was still good. You had Florida was still good. And like, bro, this is it's gonna be crazy. But that Clemson game, like I think, like Clay said, that Clemson game, and I said this: if we beat Clemson, we go 12-0. I say that now. Yeah. If we beat Clemson, we go 12-0.
Yeah, because I was about to say the way that y'all schedule look, that's gonna be out the game.
Yes, yeah,
bro. And I feel and Georgia Tech, it's gonna take Sims.
It ain't gonna be just Sims. It's gonna be Jahmyr Gibbs. He's an emerging star.
Y'all running back is really good too. Y'all running back, both of y'all running backs were like top in the PFF charts, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know they had these guys. Like y'all gonna have a squad. The O line is always gonna be there. You always had a good O line because unless you play Georgia, because it's Georgia. But
Georgia.
Georgia. Y'all are built for ACC football,
right?
So I'll say that.
But like I said, but when you was talking about Alabama, like I said, Alabama, like you kind of right. I'm not really big on Alabama as far as the talent wise, but the thing that they always recruit well is the trenches.
The offensive lineman and defensive lineman. That's exactly what I was about to say.
And butter is, the trench.
All 5 stars. It don't matter who the quarterback is. You're going to stand up all day.
Right.
You're going to stand up all day in the pocket because these guys are number 1 overall. Like, and it's so funny, like, watching them play. It's just like, can you get to the quarterback? Like, can we get a blitz in there? Then your blitzman, they still pick you up. Like, it doesn't. You have to blitz like 8. You got to go engage 8 and pray though. But and then they always got speedy receivers, and that's why I think he'll Nick Saban go down as one of the greatest coaches of all time. He might go down as the greatest college football coach of all time, based off of he's been able to change his game how many years in a row and still can beat. Like he had Julio and Amari Cooper, big receivers. Went from them 2 to Calvin Ridley. Waddle, look at that whole receiver from last year.
That was like little guys,
and they were just speedy. And he knew how, and he had who's it? Is Stark their coordinator still?
Stark,
no, Brian, no. He's Texas. I think Bill O'Brien is the starting offense coordinator.
That is just unfair because it's just unfair because if you're a head coach that just got fired and Alabama offers you a contract. You think I'm gonna take that? I'm gonna take that. That's like, and you're gonna get paid. You ain't losing no money because they got they won the highest franchises. Yeah,
that's what happened to Sark. That's how it happened to Sark. That's how he got the job in Texas. Like he went to Alabama after being fired, and then they went right back into the coaching carousel or being hired. But let's you guys see any comments, K-Style? You see any comments that you want to highlight?
I saw a comment earlier. We actually have a $2 super chat by Jamal Grant. He was talking about Frank Elf will be our undrafted starter in the future. $2. Holla, holla, holla. Holla, holla. And that's the thing. Like I said, it don't matter. We have to look at it from this standpoint. It don't matter where you was drafted. It's all about what situation you get put in. I mean, like I said, Felipe Franks has, like, as far as the physical tools that a lot of teams look for, and that's what a lot of these fans look for, because you got a big body, strong arm quarterback who has some running ability. Like I said, the only thing about it is, like I said, he's going to be a project, but it's a low risk, high reward type of project.
Yeah.
See, now the issue with if you would have drafted Justin Fields 4th overall, see now it could be a high reward, but it'll be a high risk too. Because the reason why I say because is if Matt Ryan plays well, then now you've wasted 2 to 3 years of Justin Fields' career.
Wasn't it $8 million in cap space he was going to take up? Just sitting on the bench.
Yeah,
right.
Just sitting on the bench.
Right.
So why are we spending and you're not gonna use them? That's why I don't think people understood that, bro. The money runs this league, y'all. Y'all have to realize you can't get players if you don't pay them. Like you gonna sit there for $8 million and just be like, oh well. And now you're talking about ticket sales. You gonna watch Justin Fields sit on the bench and scream and yell at him on the bench? Because Matt Ryan hasn't shown you that much of a decline, really and truly. He is not showing you that much of a decline, and people love this. And like you said, those Matt Ryan obsessors, they love to just nitpick. Oh, he can't throw the deep ball no more. I can throw a ball deeper than him.
When
he's not, his offense was built like that.
Deep ball throwers. He's one of the most accurate deep ball throwers for the last 5 years. All right, the last 5 years or so, he's always top, and that's the thing. People equate being able to throw far as a deep ball thrower. Aaron Rodgers has the most, but when you look at his completion percentage as a deep ball thrower, it's not that. It's still high, but it still has.
It's not Matt Ryan level at all.
It's not Matt Ryan level, and that's why I say, like, even when you look at Matt Ryan has been a mobile guy. There was a misconception about what mobile is. The ability to run for first down doesn't make you a mobile quarterback. You have to have the ability to not only the sprint left, the sprint right. Because when you look at guys like Lamar Jackson, even look at Russell Wilson. Like Russell Wilson is a guy. That's like this is a perfect example. And I know K-Style know exactly where I'm going. The first game of the season.
Oh God!
When the Falcons that was his only sack. That was his only sack of the year. They sprinted Russell and he came clean. They don't. If you look at Seattle, they only use that same rollout with Russell. He only rolls out to the right. You rarely, very seldom see him, roll out to the left. This is what we're talking about: mobility and having quarterbacks who can do multiple. Can you roll out right? Because when teams figure out that you can only roll out to the right, guess what? They're gonna start sending zone blitzes, and they're gonna take that away. And these are the things that Matt Ryan. It doesn't matter what Matt Ryan is. It don't matter where he can roll out right, left, and he can make that throw and he can make it accurate. And see, those are the things we're talking about, especially in the Kyle Shanahan and the West Coast offense. You have to have that ability to roll out right and left, and that's why Kyle Shanahan and Matt Ryan were the perfect duo. Is because he had that ability to roll out left and to roll out right. That's something that. Trey Lance, when you look at Trey Lance, he's a little bit more accurate than Justin Fields rolling out right and rolling out left. So that's why they decided to go with Trey Lance over Justin Fields. So that's like I said, man, when you got guys like Felipe Franks who can do a multitude of things, he can throw the deep ball, and when you look at his arm strength, he has a tremendous arm. But the only thing with him, and it's only been that issue, is that he hasn't had consistent coaching. This coaching at Florida at the time was absolutely terrible. Let's just be real about that. Those guys, all they wanted to do was option. So, you couple that with his, the lack of experience, they pretty much just threw him in there. He wasn't ready to be a starter. Felipe wasn't ready to be a starter at that point, and it made him look a lot worse than what he actually was. So now he gets the opportunity to play with the coach that is probably one of the best, if not the best, as far as like creating plays and getting into the end zone. And that's something that for a young quarterback, you want to make it easy and, slow down the game, because you're going to throw the ball to the tight ends. You're going to dump the ball off to the tight ends, and quarterbacks love to throw the tight ends. Like, I don't know a quarterback that doesn't like to throw to a tight end. So Felipe is going to have he got the, if anybody had a perfect development plan, I think it's Felipe. Like he has everything. You got a smart coach. You got a Hall of Fame quarterback to learn from. Not a lot of young quarterbacks right now can say that they have a Matt Ryan that they can sit back and learn from. Because Tom Brady ain't trying to teach nobody. Let's be real. He ain't trying to teach nobody.
Al Trask is not finna sit there and learn nothing from him.
He ain't learning nothing.
And what's so funny to me about, like, you were talking about Trey Lance, bro, and my thing was, if we took a quarterback, I wanted Trey Lance.
Yeah.
That was the only guy I wanted. I was like, we're not taking Justin Fields because no. And I said, and Trey Lance knew if he came to Atlanta, he was going to be sitting here, and he was okay with it. That was my thing for him. But my main point of the quarterback, the first three, it was, who was it? It was Lawrence. What's the MAGA? What's his name? Zach. And then Trey Lance.
Mama's boy.
Yeah, Mama's boy. So Trevor, he might have a little bit of help. He can come in with ETN, and the defense ain't bad down there. They got a new coaching staff, so I don't know how they're gonna look. The out of the three, Zach Wilson has the worst. You're going to New York, high expectations, high. I mean, everything is up there because you're in New York. You're gonna be. You were the front. They knew you were. They had you in the front page of the not New York Times, the New York Post. You were the main page. You were the front page. So they have so much expectations up there for you. It's like, God, you gotta have you better come in. You gotta come in and be who you have to be. So it's gonna be weird, and that's why you don't bring in Justin Fields, who literally doesn't want to sit. He gonna want to play, and I'm proud. The Bears, they took the guy they needed. They needed a quarterback, unless Mitchell Trubisky shows out this year. No, he's not even there no more.
He's not even there. No, he's not even there.
So unless Joe Flacco old, so it's like he's gonna play this year. But you're not going to start. I don't think Trey Lance starts either. And Trey Lance is okay with that. He said, I'm okay with that. So you get Jimmy G. You get to learn. He gets to learn from Jimmy G, who learned from Tom Brady. But he's more mobile than Jimmy G. So he's going to have a lot of like everybody else except Zach Wilson in a good spot right now. He's in the worst position because they don't have a receiving core. Robbie Anderson left and went to Carolina. Really, I think all the Jets wide receivers end up going to Carolina to go play with Sam Darnold. So, I want to, but I do want to talk about that Kaminsky and Marlin thing. I do want to talk about that because those my guys.
Hey, I was about to say before we get to that, let's get a couple of comments because I seen one that actually interested me, and this was Terrence Holmes. This was a while back. He said, "Fuck ESPN for putting Matt Stafford in the top 10 quarterbacks."
Yo! Oh my God!
You could have took somebody else out except Matthew Stafford. I'm gonna be honest. Like you could have took somebody else except Matthew. Matthew's one of the most consistent guys, and he's been. And this is not biased. I'm not gonna be biased, but Matthew Stafford can be in my top 10. I don't know who was in that list. I'm gonna have to look at it, but I don't think you take Matthew Stafford out. There's a lot more quarterbacks that are worse than Matt Ryan there. If Tannehill is in the top 10, you take Tannehill out.
I want you to repeat that for the people in the back.
If Tannehill is in that top 10 list, he is not he gonna look like shit this year. I hope y'all know that. I'm gonna tell y'all now. Ryan Tannehill is gonna look like Miami Ryan Tannehill again because he does not have Arthur Smith. I don't think y'all understand how pivotal that is to his career. So just know he's gonna look like the absolute worst. If he does even have a little bit of success, it's gonna be because of Derrick Henry. I'll put it like that.
Exactly.
Hey man, I want to move it on to a little bit because we've definitely got the football portion out, but let's move on to this, man. And I know a lot of people. Your boy tripping, man. I mean, that's all I can say about it. Like, this dude is tripping. I don't understand. Like, if you're going, like, just a statement. If I can find a statement, I'll just kind of summarize what he stated. But it basically stated that Mason Plumlee deserved an opportunity to be on the Olympic team.
That was so
Trae needed to wait his turn. Are you fucking? Excuse my goddamn language, but are you fucking kidding me? Nobody can even spell his goddamn last name, and you trying to cap for this dude to be on the Olympic team? Are you Mason freaking? I'm a Duke fan through and through. I love Duke, but you're not gonna tell me that Mason Plumlee deserved to be on the damn Olympic team and Trae Young don't. You really trying to tell me that? Let's be real. And it's not just that, he's like this dude goes. I've never, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen a coach. I don't remember a coach that ever that has ever had a pure hate and disgust for a player that I've ever seen him. I've never seen a player hate a coach hate a player this much. This dude cannot stand Trae Young, and I have no idea why.
I think he doesn't like Trae because Trae doesn't like him. I think it's more of a because Trae, and let's be honest, when Trae first said when it first came out and it was like, yo, Lloyd Pierce, when we and if I want and I'm gonna plug my show real quick. Go to the All-Star break on our show. You'll see it. It says Kings Realm. Go to the All-Star break. I was literally on there. And we don't, I don't like to cuss a lot. I was on there about to cuss his man out like he was, like he had arrested my daddy or something. Like I don't even like, and it was so like, dude, you don't know what you're doing. And I think Trae done called him out on it. I think that's really what it was. I think Trae called him out on it. And I think, because remember, I don't know if you guys remember, there's a picture, and people were saying, remember the whole JC and Trae beef came out. I think that wasn't Trae and JC. I think it was definitely because of Lloyd Pierce.
Oh, I know that. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because we already got the report from Chris Kirshner saying that JC asked Lloyd, "Hey man, can we get some plays run for me? I'm trying to score, like not like on no rude shit. Hey, I'm trying to get me some money." It was his contract, and Lloyd told him no.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think he probably told Trae like, "Hey man, JC trying to take your touches away from you." You don't think it was nothing in that type of capacity? It was something to where, and there's a picture of Trae, and everybody was so mad at Trae about the situation. He was sitting on the bench, and they were in the huddle, and he wasn't in the huddle with them. And I really think it was something to a point where he just didn't, he didn't feel like he was the coach no more. And even his dad, and if y'all follow Rayford, y'all know Rayford will speak on his mind. And he said, I don't know what this guy, he said, I don't want to be rude enough, but I don't know what this guy's doing. Like it's not it was a thing where Trae, we were supposed to be so good.
I think you're right about that. Because
like you got the players.
You getting tutored by guys like Kobe Bryant, like a lot of these young guys, like he's you seen him in pictures with guys like KD and all and whatnot. It's like when you are tutored by these guys and then you have a coach, like Lloyd Pierce, who's in his first year. And like I said, I'm not, down to him for being, a first stint head coach, not first year, but first stint head coach. I don't down you for your ups and downs. What I like, where I drew the line with him is when everyone include like everybody, like we're talking about the refs. Like it was a period in time during early in the season where the refs just wasn't giving him any type of respect. He wouldn't get no calls. He was getting hacked. Nothing happened, and he just sat there. Like he just sat there, let Steve Nash talk crazy about Trae, and he said nothing. And he didn't come out and defend his player. Like picture anybody. That's like picture any coach. You got a opposing coach talking all this crazy stuff about your player, and you don't come to his defense. Like that's when I lost respect for him as a man, not even just a coach. As just a man. This is your guy. That's going to make, like, if you don't make sure that Trae Young makes it, you don't have a job. And I figured at that point he didn't give a damn about his job anymore. He wanted out. That's when I felt like, okay, this team, there's no hope for this team. And I think, like I said, my thing with him is just solely that because I'm a big advocate for chemistry. And K Styles, you kind of give me your thoughts on that. But like I always say, man, I think everybody in each sport, when you're a coach, scheme, X's and O's. It's not much to it. But what separates the greats from the average is their ability to connect with players. And that's why I thought Lloyd Pierce doesn't give a damn about chemistry. And that's why I think he'll never be a good coach.
Well, before I get to that, I want to give a shout out to Alex Edwards in the building. Y'all make sure y'all show him some love in there as well. Like I say, that's one of the AFN newest writers. So yeah, show him some love.
Jamal Bryant.
Exactly. But Lloyd Pierce. See, the one thing we forget about Lloyd Pierce is, remember, he was part of the developmental coaching staff for the process. We forget that. I don't think a lot of people remember that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, if for people that don't know what the process is, that's the Philadelphia 76ers tanking for 5-6 straight years, trying to get their players. Yeah, man, it just when you look at the side, for me, I like looking at the sidelines because I want to see where the interaction is with the teams and how the coaches interact. And I always kind of sensed that it was some type of animal. I didn't know exactly to the extent, but you can kind of tell it was set up for failure. Somebody said it in the chat here earlier. Saying that Lloyd Pierce was not. Here you go. He said he was brought in as a developmental coach, but never was supposed to be the long-term guy. And
you know what? That makes sense.
And if you actually look at the way that the team was coached, you look at the team played, that makes sense because it was okay. You see the team, they get to a good lead, but then there's no adjustments. There's no camaraderie on the floor.
They need a guy who understood those how to get those guys to that next level. And I think that they had already got to that next level, but Lloyd Pierce didn't. Like, he's not a guy that know how to draw up plays. I've seen this. I forget what game it was, but it was like the Hawks were down like 1 point or something like that, and he drew up a play for like an alley-oop to John Collins, and not a jump shot. He actually drew up a play so John Collins could get an alley-oop. And bro, I literally just threw. I don't know what I threw, but I was like, I threw this ball. I said, this dude did not just design an alley-oop to John Collins.
Yeah, I remember that game. Or the funniest game I think was the Dallas game. I think y'all remember that the Dallas game. We could have won that game, or we would have tied with the 3, right?
Right.
We were in that game a long time. Let's think about it. We were in that game. Like, it wasn't like it was a blowout. Like, we weren't, like we had a big comeback. We were it was a neck and neck game. And you draw up a play for Gallinari to get the ball on the inbound and Trae to set the screen. For Trae to get fouled. Or which he did get hit. He got ran over. But you set the play for Trae to set a screen when he is your scorer. He's your higher scorer. He's the best person to shoot the shot because he's going to make it. And you set it up for a 31-year-old man who was barely moving at the time. At least Gallo got loose over the years.
He had an ankle injury at the time. He was with an ankle injury at the time.
Yeah, he was still stiff. And then he gets the ball and then throws it up. Like, it was like, yeah, this is a horrible situation. And then we get Nate, and this is where I bring in the Nate being a good coach. He got to sit down with Trae, and that's why this is my thing with that is that he realizes Trae is his leader. He talked to Trae as soon as Trae got to the bench. Whoever your leader is, you're supposed to address them first. There was never a point where Lloyd Pierce grabbed Trae and said, "Come here." When you saw Trae go to the bench, you saw Nate wave his hand, telling Trae to come here because he is your floor. He is your general. He is your court general. So, and it's so funny, like to just think about the worst. We were 14-20, y'all. Like, and we had games that we were only down 2 or 3 in with 6 minutes left, and lost by like 12 because we couldn't get a bucket. Like it just turns into you're not a good fourth quarter coach. And for the people that were saying Nate, and this was so funny. I was telling people Nate needs to take over. Nate needs to take over. No, Nate isn't a good coach. Nate can't win in the playoffs. No. Look at the team Nate McMillan has had. Really think about it. He was in Seattle. He was in Portland. He was in Indiana for these last when most people knew him was in Indiana. And then you bring him to Atlanta with a legit superstar. Like PG was growing up. Let's put it like that. PG was his superstar. But PG didn't have no talent around him. You think Monty Ellis, Roy Hibbert, Lance Stevenson, who was it? They had a bucket getter. I can't think of his name. Danny Granger.
Danny Granger.
Yeah. So that's not the Hawks. You get John Collins, you got Clint Capella, you got DeAndre Hunter, which we really didn't get. We didn't really get a lot of Trae, and that's my favorite player. But let's really think, like, he's not had a good team except this Hawks team, and look what he did with it. And we're young. Like, if you give a coach like Steve Kerr, you gave Steve Kerr, Curry, Draymond, all of them in their prime. Well, not their prime, but they were growing into their prime. Y'all don't think he was going to win a championship with that team? Like, he walked into it. So, and you give Nate this team, Nate walked into this team, and he showed you, I'm going to coach this team better. And that one band, one sound, I love that reference because he's basically saying, I want you to be with us. Like, and he realized what something Lloyd didn't do. I can't be old. I can't be an old school coach. I can't be a hard nose making people run sprints and making the team morale go down. I got to realize what the young guys like to do. And he just had an interview where he said Trae Young is a superstar.
Yeah.
Like he said, and you had to watch his talents. You had to build around his talents. And that's something Lloyd couldn't do. So I'm really not in the feeling of that. Like he just isn't a good coach, and he just never really was. I don't know. It just feels weird for him, bro. Like every time I see it, I'm just like, why? Like, why are you still coaching? Like now he's going to Indiana to be the head assistant coach. Like,
hey, I want to get the comment that's been on the screen for a little while.
Yes.
Lloyd Pierce said Trae Young had a great year. Harrison Barnes and Mason Plumlee had great careers.
That's the quote. That's the quote I was talking about, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, Mason Plumlee had a good. Man, what?
A great college career, great high school career. He never done nothing good in it. He never been like, oh, Mason Plumlee's a DPOY candidate. Like, huh? Like, no. Like,
bro, we forgot Mason Plumlee was in the league after year 2.
Yeah, yes, exactly. He been on that tanking Charlotte team for years. Like, bro, like him and his brothers, they like the Plumlee brothers got to the league and just didn't do nothing. It was like they had all that hype at Duke, and everybody was like, "Oh, look at the brother." And then just disgusting, man. Yeah, that's true right there.
Yeah, Mark Jackson team, Steve Kerr got the easy way out. Yeah, the only thing that, like I said, and this is what I say, it's about adjusting the system to the players, and that's what Steve Kerr did.
And that's exactly what I was about to say.
That's all that came down to. It was adjusting to what the player's strength was. Because I know y'all saw that garbage ass play Lloyd Pierce called to get Nigeria. That was one of the worst plays. How you gonna run? What was it? It wasn't Dame Lillard. Was it Dame Lillard?
It was an ISO. It was an ISO play, but it was like screens. It was like two screens back. They were like side to side screening. Like what the hell? Like I don't really understand what the point was to do that. If you go ISO, just ISO.
Hold on, I'm finna use my screen right quick. Okay, so if y'all don't know what happened here, okay, we have an out of bounds play here. It looked like they gave it to Kevin Durant. I gotta look at who the players were on the floor. I don't even know who the players was on the floor. The play was so bad, I didn't even know who the players on the floor were. But it looked like they gave it to Kevin Durant right there. They passed it up here. They gave it back to him. This motherfucker ran past 6 screens to go all the way to the court. Got the ball back and turned it in.
It was the same. It's the Gallo play. It's the same. It's the Gallo play. It's the same play as Gallo. It's the same 2-pick. It's a 2-pick. It's a grab the ball, 2-pick, run around, and hope you get a layup or a lob or throw the shot up, and hope the defender gets caught. That's literally what it was. That's all it is.
Boy, I kid you not. I saw 760 screens on that one play. There's 12 seconds left. Like I said, if you need to draw a play up, give it to Kevin Durant, let his ass ISO or pick and roll, whatever, and let it develop from there. You don't need to run no 7 screens with Dame Lillard, and you ain't got no damn time. And I think they had a goddamn turnover in that play too.
I believe so. Too. Hey man, let's get to a little bit Q&A, and we'll kind of wind it down. For the most part. Like you guys, hey man, leave the questions for myself, Tyrone, and K-Style. Whatever you guys, if you don't have any questions, we'll kind of end it. But hey man, leave the questions.
Fred Boy said it was Zach LaVine. They spent the entire time out drawing up that stupid shit.
They lost Australia, and now they said Jason Tatum hurt. Like, bro, it's like,
he's hurt.
Yeah, they say he's day to day. His knee is day to day. Yeah, so you know it's gonna get ugly, and it's funny because LeBron don't want to play, Curry don't want to play. Like you're established superstars, it's just like I'm gonna sit here and just watch and just see how bad y'all gonna do. And it was so funny. It was a picture of Bradley Beal's kids and like Deuce, which is Jason Tatum's son, and Draymond's kids. It was like the kids of the future of U.S. basketball. And I'm just like, what if they want to go be doctors or something? Like, why they gotta automatically just be assumed to be basketball players? Like, it was like automatically like, yeah, this is the future. I'm like, no, like you don't know what these boys are going to want to do by the time Like Bronny didn't get forced to play basketball. Bronny wants to play basketball. You can tell Bronny wants to play basketball. And you can tell his son wants to play basketball. Now you look at D-Wade's kid, he didn't want to play basketball. Zaire plays basketball, the other one don't. And you can't do that. I want to talk about this. This is my thing. John Collins is worth. This is so everybody wants to talk about it.
Hey, let me say this before you forget that. Look, I said this and everybody called me a hater, so I already know where you're going. Go ahead, go.
So y'all want to talk about his whole playoffs, like first year playing in playoffs, not like he was not like he's had experience like half the guys on the team that didn't show up. So you going to say he turned down 90 mil. He wasn't going to take 90 mil. And then my thing for it is too, you can't convince me to get paid less than the average. And I got Lloyd Pierce as my coach. And there's no set future. Like there was no set future. You're not going to make me play below average. Giannis is out here making $45 million. Draymond is making 33 and he's almost, I think he is 33 or 34. You got guys that he's better. It's a top, and I put on my Twitter, the top 10 paid He's better than half of them. So y'all can question his whole playoffs experience. That's not him. I mean, he had great games and he had bad games. Everybody went through that. Mm-hmm. So Julius Randle's going to get a bag. Y'all don't believe me. Julius Randle's going to get a bag. And he didn't even show up in one game.
Mm-hmm.
So don't try to say that he's worth less than $90 million. He's going to get and this is mine. I think he's gonna get. And Trae I don't know if y'all saw Trae said I want to see how my brothers eat. I think he gets something close to 20. I feel like it's gonna be a front load contract. It's gonna be like a 20, like something like 120 ish.
It has to be an incentive.
It's gonna be front loaded.
It has to be one of those deals because, like, that's why I say with the especially with guys like Kevin Huerter, you got Hunter, and you got Cam Reddish. These guys are gonna eventually Clint Capella's money is gonna come off, but like that's at least a year or two down the line, depending on how Big O, how he develops and how we draft also. But like I said, I've never stated that don't pay him $120 million. All right, don't pay him $100. Don't just give him $120 million. Make him work for it. This is why you have options. That's how you got team options. That's why you got incentive-based deals where you have to if you don't score such and such, you have how many rebounds. If you win Rookie of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, like put those types of deals within that contract. Don't just because we got guys right now that like Kevin Huerter is going to get paid. And I believe DeAndre Hunter is going to be I think he's going to be an all-star.
He's a max. DeAndre Hunter's a max guy.
He's going to be a player. So my thing is don't just K-Star, you kind of gave me your thoughts on it too, but like just don't give 100 because we've seen teams that just throw money at people and then these guys end up they can't live up to the hype and like a Julius Randle. I don't think he's going to be able to live up to that hype, but that's the Knicks for you. But my thing is just don't give him $120 million without that incentive in it. What do you think, K-Star?
Yeah, I'm about to say I really think the reason why he turned that contract down, that extension for, was because of Lloyd Pierce. That's what I'm really thinking that has been the issue. I think what might end up happening is they might not give him the 120, but they might get him close to that 90 that they tried to give him before. It might be 95.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe 100. But like you said, make it an incentive base because that's what Philadelphia did for Joel Embiid. It was incentive based. Yeah. So because a lot of people don't remember Joel Embiid wasn't playing back-to-back games. He wasn't playing a lot of it. So they're like, okay, if you want to get this money, you're going to have to get your conditioning better. You're going to have to play a certain amount of minutes. You have to get such and such. So I could see that. But like you say, it's just all going to depend on what direction they want to take. Because like you said, you got a lot of young players coming up for some contracts. And that is the situation that we're going to have here.
That's why I say front load. So if you go, this is my little basic knowledge. So if you say Jay gets the 4-year 120, let's say he does get the 120. Let's put on a 5-year player option. Let's do it like that. 125-year player option. I'll make it simple. Let's go 100 because it's 25. So let's go. So for 100, you front load that. You go 30 the first year, 30 the second year, and then it'll go down to you have and like that's 60, you got 20. So then you got Trae's extension, who's coming up. Trae's gonna make 33 on a max. He's making 33. Dre's gonna get at least something close to 20 something like JC. Kevin Huerter is gonna. I think Kevin Huerter takes a 90-year max. I think Kevin Huerter wants to stay, so he takes a cheaper deal. I think he doesn't get the full. I think he gets the 20. I think he gets like a 4-year, like a Kuzma deal. Like Kuzma got like 4 years, 30. I think he'll go like 4 years, like 40 something. Cam Reddish is not going to be on the max. He's going to take like a 4 year 50 because he's hurt. He's been hurt, so we can keep this core. Kungu, you don't have to worry about Kungu till 5 years down the line. He's got a good amount of time before his contract. And he's a forward. I don't see him as a center. So this draft or the drafts coming up, sometime I think we get a big center. I think we get somebody 6'11". That's why I want Kai Jones. I'm gonna talk about him on FILA. We're doing draft shows, so if y'all want to come and talk about draft stuff, I definitely want to talk about Kai Jones. He's 6'11", with like a 7. He's got like a huge wingspan. He's ginormous. So I definitely want to talk about him. But I think we have to have a real. I think we have to get a real center, and put Okongwu, at the 4. And I'm fine with it. If JC gets out of his contract and he wants to decline the player option and walk and get money somewhere else, we still got a Okongwu coming off the bench. He just got to develop a shot. So that's all I feel like. That's all I think it is.
So in that case, so I'm about to say, so in that case, do you have if that was the situation? That's why I said a guy like Nathan Knight is somebody that I feel like.
Yes, because see Nathan Knight's on a 2-way.
Two-way deal.
He's a 2-way, yeah. So for him, he had to get on like BG, how BG was on a 2-way for like a couple years, and then we finally brought him up.
Wow.
So it'd be something close to that. He's gonna be on a 2-way. I think he'll be on a 2-way for a couple years. I'm not gonna lie, because he isn't NBA ready. I mean, he shows flashes, but I don't think he's really NBA ready. Same thing with Skylar Mays. As much as I want him to, develop, I love Skylar Mays.
Yeah.
He's a bucket getter, bro. He's gonna improve every year. He did it in college. His 4 years, he started at 11 points and he went all the way up to 16 his senior year. So he's shown you improvement over every year. So if they're gonna both be on 2-ways for at least a couple years till we figure out, like this year, say we get Trae Mann as a backup, or we get Kai Jones as a backup. Like any way we go in that, that's how I see is gonna happen. And I would love to have Trae Mann, even though he's a Florida boy. He likes Trae. He wants to learn from Trae. The only thing that hurts is BG, because he's a free agent this year. So that's the only thing that really hurts. But I think that we have to find that the draft is important for us. I'm going to be honest, and then people not like think that like, oh well, you don't really need. No, it's very important this year because that's a guy who we don't have to sign to down the line. And we talking about this money structure we got to do. Don't be surprised if Gallo doesn't come back his 3rd year, his contract. Don't be surprised if Cam starts balling out. Don't be surprised if Bogey gets put in a lot of trade bait instances on Twitter. Like if you start seeing a lot of like if Cam starts balling like you did in the playoffs,
you got a lot of young guys that you can
you can piece up. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these older guys started to get put in. And Clint, I'm saying this now, Clint, because he's not making a lot, he might serve his whole contract here. But if we get a center this year, and you want to keep Okongwu at center, it's going to be a thing for Clint to where he might come off the bench. He might if he gets out of his contract, he's going to take a lower contract if he wants to stay here. Because youth is key, and I think a lot of them know it. A lot of these older guys know it. Like Gallo, it's the reason why Gallo came here. Gallo can play with a young team because he's still got a little bit of juice in him. You still got a lot of juice in some of these guys. Like Gallo crossed up. Who was it? PJ Tucker. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's Trae rubbing off on him." Everybody's like Trae rubbing. I'm like, no, Gallo been like that. Gallo been playing like that for years. He still got some tank, and it's so funny because Bogey's old. Like people don't know Bogey's in his 30s. Like you think he's younger. He's an older guy. He just got drafted. He's one of the best European players of all time. If you go look at his stat, he's one of the best European players of all time. So I'm not going to say that these guys are going to get traded. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to say it like that. But if it happens, I would not be surprised because Travis Slink and Tony Wrestler are going to spend money, and we're going to go into the luxury tax. Y'all know. I hope y'all know this. We are going to go into the luxury tax, and we have never done that in Atlanta. Let's be honest. We have never seen a team spend this like basketball, especially for the Hawks. We've never had a team that just stick as a nuclear. So I think we're gonna sit here and really think about what's gonna happen, and I'm excited. These next couple years, I say bold. And somebody said it was championship or bust next year. It's really not. I wouldn't go that far because I would love us to win next year.
You can't say that. They way too young.
It's like 2015. Remember when it was like 2014. Remember when the Warriors made it to the final, their West Coast final? You know, they were good. Everybody was like, "Oh, look at this Warriors team." And in 2015, they went out and won it. Everybody was like, "Oh, this is a serious team, and they're young." It's going to be something close to that, y'all. We're building something here where money is going to be sustainable.
It has to be sustainable.
It's just going to have to be, and the same thing with the Falcons. Everything has to be sustainable.
But let's get this question. Atlanta Kid, your thoughts on FILA branding 3 new shows? Tyrone being the Braves.
Yeah.
Was that college football?
And then United. So yeah, if y'all don't follow FILA, we got 3 new shows. So we have Newsome Baseball, which is his show. Then you have my show, which is called On Tyrone, and then you have the Golden. Don't know exactly. It's like the Golden Spike show, which is our United show. So now it's 5 of us. Of course, we all follow sports. We all follow the Atlanta, but we do have specific shows now. So if y'all definitely want to, if you like Braves, get you some Newsome Baseball. College football is me. And United is Ariel. He's actually a really good guy. Knows a lot about. He's a big soccer guy. So you know we can't all be big soccer fans. So he's one that we had to bring in somebody. So and definitely Braves. And then if y'all know, we do Brave shows, but we actually have an actual Brave show. So. If you really want to talk baseball, that will be him. And of course our Sunday shows. Y'all know about, if you follow us, those shows are always lit. We always got somebody in there.
Don't remind me of Atlanta United, boy. Gabriel, I don't know what's going on with that team.
Bro, United is such a disappointment for me right now, and I don't want to be that way because they got a new coach. But man, they have just like. Let's talk about we're up 2-0 with 80-something minutes.
With 8 minutes left in the go,
and we let them score 2 goals back to back. Yeah,
2 goals in 3 minutes.
Like it's just like, what are we doing? And then we get the CONCACAF, have a good game, and then we let Philly just kill us. It was 0-0. They scored 3 goals. Right. It's just like,
bro. I kid you not, but I forgot who we played that game. But I remember we was up 2. I remember watching it. We was up 2-0. I went to go take a piss. It was 2-2 when it came back. I said,
what was so funny? I think the Hawks played that night, and I was like, we might win now because I was like, they just gonna give it up. I guess like this, we can't all be good at the same time. I don't know, man. C-Mac or Kamara, who's better? That's what? Okay, I'm
McCaffrey or Kamara.
That's not even. Are y'all gonna compare them? They're 2 different receivers. I mean, they're 2 different running backs. Kamara is my favorite out of them 2, if I'm going to be honest. Because McCaffrey is used in a pass role more for me. And he can return and all of that. But Kamara is straight up, I'm going to run down your throat. Do y'all not remember Christmas? He scored like 5 touchdowns. Like, he set a record. So, he's from Tennessee. I'm an SEC bias guy. He's from Tennessee. So,
Tennessee via Atlanta, Georgia. Think about that.
Yeah.
Also, Alabama. Think about that. Same backfield as Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Yeah, man. McCaffrey never. I don't know, man. McCaffrey really was not my guy. Like even when he got drafted, I was like, "Oh, good work, Carolina. You got a running back."
Yeah, he'll be hurt in 2 years, and that's exactly what happened.
And that's exactly what happened.
I knew he wasn't gonna hold up because he was just too small, and the way they were using him, it's like, come on, like the dude, like 215, if that. Like, come on,
try 202.
Oh, he's 202. He's smaller than I think he is.
Jeez. Yeah, he's skinny. Like he's a returner. He's he's Avery Williams size. Like literally, he is Avery Williams size.
Oh my God! Wow, I had no idea.
They try to run him like Jonathan Stewart. So hopefully, him being a right. as well. Yeah, it ain't gonna work for him.
Oh, hold up. This comment here.
I'm
gonna say this. Like, look, y'all can think what you want. I really don't give a damn. But I've said this for a while. I thought Matt Ryan has been better than Tom Brady for the last 5 years.
Let's be honest.
Had a better team.
Let's be honest. Defense. Yeah. That's the end coaching. Defense and offensive coaching has been what Tom Brady has strived on for 20 years of his career. So let's be honest. You would have put Matt Ryan in the same situation as Tom Brady.
Come on, bro. Come on.
And see what happens. It's probably the same result. I think he might win more, actually.
I don't think a lot of the games in that division, like a lot of those games, like Tom Brady has, like they have control of the game. And like one of the things that has always plagued the Falcons is that Matt Ryan, they start off hot, and then here come the second half. The defense can't stop anybody, can't run the ball, and we lose the game. Like that
was the story last year. That was literally the story last year.
Right. That's it. What you think, K-Style? Oh man.
What did I always say in the shows last year? You already know what I was gonna say.
I already know. Go ahead.
60 fucking minutes. That's all we asked for. 60 minutes of football. We get 45 minutes. Everything just go down the drain. Like you said. As far as the Tom Brady and Matt Ryan thing, if you look at the aspects on how they play, like Tom Brady's system compared, I'm gonna just say it. The last three, if you look at the last 3 years,
I know what you're doing.
Look at the systems that Tom Brady plays under compared to what Matt Ryan plays under with Dirk Cutter, it's two totally different systems. Only reason is Tom Brady's system works for him. Matt Ryan's system didn't work for him. You wanted him to be Patrick Mahomes. That's not his game. You're not going to ask Tom Brady to throw 20 deep ball passes. That's why they struggled earlier in the season, because they tried to establish the deep ball. And it was like, no, fuck that. We ain't finna have that happen. Tom Brady said, I'm finna dink and dunk these fools to death. And that's been his game. See, the big difference is with the two quarterbacks. It's not so much of the skill set, but like you said, it's the team around them. Like you said, you have a defense you can rely on. You have a system that is not going to predicate to your quarterback getting killed. And then, like you said, this was the best wide receiver core he's ever had. So he's worked with garbage before, and then he ended up getting diamonds here. Shit, hey, he got his favorite target to come down there too. So, and he got his second favorite target to come down there too.
That's it. That man get everything he wants. But like I said, the reason why I say that I believe that Matt Ryan has for the last 3 to 5 years, I believe that he's been better than Tom Brady is because he's asked to do more. Tom Brady isn't asked to lead the team. He's asked to not give up and not make turnovers, which plays into his hands about dinking and dunking and dinking and dunking. They don't ask Tom Brady to completely take over a game because he's not that type of player anymore. Like every once in a while, you'll see a game where he got 400 yards, 5 touchdowns or something like that. But that's not Tom Brady's game anymore. He hasn't been that guy for quite some time. Matt Ryan is asked to carry a team. Matt Stafford, I'm just going to be honest. I believe that when you talk about guys that are asked to do to carry teams, Matt Stafford is a guy that's asked to carry a team. Matt Ryan is asked to carry a team. Russell Wilson is asked to carry a team. So that's how I equate who's better, as a quarterback. Because you can sit back and you can look at the stats and you can, but if you have a defense, let's just say, like Seattle and Atlanta, their defense has not been great for the past 3 to 5 years. And these guys are asked to do everything. They're asked to keep the clock running, to come back. Those are the things that you ask these guys to do on a consistent basis. Tom Brady, he doesn't have to do that. They can run the ball in New England. They ran the ball well with the Bucs last year. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about as far as that. But we'll get a couple of more questions. Kind of wind it down, man.
That was disrespectful. That was just.
Hold on. I just.
Go ahead, Mike. I know you won't say something. Long sway.
What the I saw a comment today. I'm gonna just say I saw a comment today from a pretty well respected guy, and I got a little bit. I got respect for him, not a little bit. I got respect for him, but there's this type of comment that really irritates me. Is that you got guys, and this is just fans in general. We make comments let's cut Isaiah Oliver in favor of Darren Hall. This motherfucker ain't played one preseason game, and you talking about cutting Isaiah Oliver. He's outside of AJ Terrell, he's the only guy that you can say without a shadow of a doubt that has some type of upside. We seen Sheffield get smoked by everybody, including Jesus. All right? Everybody smoked that man. Backup quarterbacks, starting, it don't matter. Everybody smoked him. And not to go back to that Tampa Bay game with Tom Brady. All he did was pick on Sheffield the whole game. So we've seen things like that. Well, you got players that we've seen that have some type of upside, but let's stop. All right, just because a team has a bad season doesn't mean that these players aren't as good as they once. Deion Jones he's never declined. Deion Jones is playing with a defense where they gave up the 5th most passing yards in NFL history. That's not because of him. Deion Jones had 4 interceptions and 4.5 sacks, which was a lead for this team. So I don't understand the notion, and plus 100, almost 90 tackles. And that's just so. I think it was combined. It was 100, almost 100 tackles. So I don't understand where people even get these types of stuff, this type of stuff from. Man, it's look, just because we're 4-12 doesn't mean we was a 4-12 team. All right, and that's what I got to say about that. You can't look at the end result. I would say don't look at the end result and say this is what this player is, because numbers can lie to you. If you don't look at film, you don't look at every aspect of football, the play calling, the injuries that comes in hand, like all of that comes together into one. So it's like I don't see any decline in Deion Jones whatsoever. We just don't have. We didn't have a defensive tackle alongside Grady Jarrett that keeps those offensive linemen off a guy like him. You don't have those big hog maulers in front of you. He's going to get ate up by 300, 300 pound lineman coming at him. That's just any linebacker, not just Deion Jones.
Right. Yeah. But that's the same thing they say about Ray Lewis as well. Like I said, you had to have that big hog in front of him. That like I said, Ray Lewis was a small guy himself, and like you said about as far as the not looking at the whole totality of the thing. Yeah, I can make a case for saying London Fletcher.
Oh, that's another, yeah.
Yeah.
You see how they try to do me, man?
Oh, they're trying to knock
They're trying to knock me out, man. But like I said, I can make a case and say that London Fletcher was one of the best linebackers we've seen in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, you don't hear his name that often.
Mm-hmm.
His numbers is actually better than Ray Lewis's numbers.
It is.
And he never missed a snap.
Yeah.
In a 17-year career. So, like I said, you just got to look at everything. Like I said, Deion Jones. And like I said, see, if he would have had Grady Jackson next to Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones would be fine. But that's the one thing I will like. I'll be looking forward to DPs and how they utilize the defensive line and how they use these blitz packages. It would allow Deion to actually be the athlete that he is.
Mm-hmm. I want to say like Marlon Davidson has to come out this year and show me something. And Kaminsky, both of them do. Because it's a battle for who's gonna start. So if you don't, I'm going to the Mercedes-Benz training camp. If I don't see Marlon Davidson get at least through the line at least one time, I'm gonna be sitting there like. And if we run 3-4, and people call me crazy when I say this, I said you run 3-4, you put Marlon Davidson as the strong side in.
Yeah.
If you run 3-4.
Yeah.
Because think about it, he's bigger. He's played in before. He was the bigger end no matter what. He knows how to contain the edge. And Kaminsky, of course, and that's if you and you really want Marlon at strong side and Dion at the weak side. But that leaves you with you're not gonna put Kaminsky at nose guard. I'm gonna run the ball at you that whole time with Kaminsky at nose guard. I'm gonna just make sure. I'm gonna tell my center and my guard, we're gonna double team. We're gonna twin right up the middle because he ain't stopping two people unless he dive on the ground and he know how to cut. So and you gotta pray Dion can get to that gap. So that's my thing for Marlon and my friend Kaminsky. They gotta show me if they gonna play in or they gonna play tackle. That's my only two things for defense for them. And then Dion is Dion. He's gonna be Dion no matter what. Michael Walker is a dog of a player. If you've never watched Michael Walker film, don't go look at last year because he was not. He was good. Hey, he's nothing bad last year. But I'm saying he just wasn't good for the system.
It's not his full
that wasn't his system. He's a good blitzer. He blitzes. He's fast. He's one of the faster guys. And now that Mingo's gone, I saw somebody say Justin Houston as an edge rusher. I don't know if I trust Justin Houston. I mean, I would like him to treat. I'd rather him, who was that we had 26 that helped Vic beat the dog that he was in 2016. Who was that we brought in?
Dwight Freeney.
Yeah, Freeney. If Houston comes in like Freeney, I mean, he still gives you luck. Houston still gonna give you some type of. He gonna give you at least a good amount of snaps. So I want to have a youth movement though. I see these teams like now. I just want Atlanta to start being young again. Like I keep Matt till Matt wheels fall off. Keep the established players, but these young guys, we got to get young. And money, and money getting tight with these old guys because they want their money. So that's how I feel. Man. I really, really want, and I've seen the Hawks go young. That's my thing, though. Watching the Hawks go young and having the right coach, it shows you what you can really do. And I think Arthur Smith is the right coach for this team. I'm gonna be honest. I really like him. He's accountable. He keeps the team. It's no brotherhood, buddy. We gonna go in the locker room and laugh. It's not that. Yeah, it's more of a. I'm gonna make sure you really who you like. You gonna run laps. If you get offside, you running laps. That's how it feels.
I absolutely did. So that's about it, man. Let's wrap it up. TJ, you want to kind of, plug yourself, give some last thoughts?
Like I said, FILA, Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. You can look up FILA Podcast on YouTube. It'll pop up if you don't want to type the whole thing out. But definitely, y'all know we do Sunday. We're trying to get more into the week a little bit more with the shows we got. Definitely want to spread them out. I really think that I'm doing college football, but we're building, we're growing. A lot of people. GHA7, of course, you guys, of course, Matt, Mike, got to get those guys a shout out. Go on there. I go on there and read sometimes, especially when people post. But definitely FILA, get on FILA. I'm talking college football every Saturday. I've already made that my schedule. My first episode is the JT Heisman question. So all of y'all are welcome to come. If you want to come on my Twitter, if you it's call on Tyrone ATL. So if you want to come on and talk with me, shoot me a DM, shoot me a text. Definitely gonna have you guys come on FILA around football season, talk with y'all.
Yeah.
Case Stizzle.
Well, you already know we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We appreciate call on Tyrone for tuning in with us. Like I said, this was kind of impromptu tonight, but we had to get some stuff off of chest. Like I said, make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for the 6-man convo. I'm thinking about just talking about the NFC South tomorrow. And what the prospects as far as what each team has to deal with. So it's not going to be just Falcons talk. It's going to be all 4 of those teams. It's going to be the other 3 teams as well. So I just make sure y'all tune in to Just K Styles channel. And tomorrow since there ain't no game tomorrow, the game is on now. So I might do it at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So and also follow Atlanta Falcon Nation if you haven't. Which I know most of y'all probably doing. So we're trying to get the 2K before the season starts. So,
Oh yeah.
And I'm on the road to 400 right now. That's the new goal. 56 away from that goal. Like I said, we appreciate y'all fucking with me. Hey, that's all I got to say, man.
Hey man, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. There was an impromptu show. Just felt like getting on, talking to you guys and introduce you guys to TJ, man. Hey man, Tyrone, bro. Like we appreciate you. We definitely gonna continue to invite you on the show. We definitely be on FILA as well. Everybody know that I'm affiliate of GSHM, so you can find my Falcons content there. As well as GSHM, you can follow that on Twitter as well as the FILA Sports Podcast on Twitter as well, Instagram.
FILA_SP. I think all of our stuff is FILA_SP.
Okay.
Twitter FILA_SP. I think all of it. I don't know our Instagram by heart, but I know our Twitter is FILA_SP. Facebook Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. It's a page too. So you can add the channel, and then it's another page too. So it's a community page, and then there's an actual channel page.
Hey man, that's it, man. Like I said, we appreciate you for coming on, man. We're gonna bring you back, but hey, man, since K-Star is gonna have that, you're gonna talk about NFC South. I already threw my NFC South. I know I got 4 down votes for that because I did a Saints video first. Like, come on, bro. Like, y'all gotta be a hater already. Can the man be diverse before y'all? Like, it's the Saints. It's more than life than just the Atlanta Falcons. All right, I want to talk about everything. I don't want to just talk about the Falcons all the time. So stop being a hater and stop down voting. Okay, give it a chance, bro.
I'm about to say the thing is when you say that, like it's probably those folks that not ready for that diversity.
They not ready for that diversity.
They not ready for that.
Hey man, but look, like I said, here at Atlanta Falcons Nation, man, everybody's welcome. You don't have to be simply a Falcon fan. There was the reason for that, because we got guys like John K, who is a Saints fan. He's one of the most loyal guys. Dante Armstrong, he's a Carolina Panthers fan, and look, I want to.
Hey, throw in Cartier Walker in there too.
Cartier Walker.
So I see him talking. I see him talking shit.
See him. Trust me. But he ain't shut up since he been.
Hey, I want to say one more thing. This is for your audience. I'm doing high school football week. The second week in August. So if there are any coaches or any of your old coaches that you still in contact with that are still head coaches and they can get me in contact with head coaches, please DM me or DM FILA, because I definitely want to get everybody's high school. I want to get as many Metro Atlanta high school teams I can get. I already got Luella and I already got Jonesboro and I got Riverside and Gainesville. So I got 3. I got 4 or 5 more spots open. 4. I got 4 spots open. I might do a double show. So if you can get me at least 4, if you got at least 4 or 5 guys, just hit me up or text the FILA page.
Whoa.
What he have got?
Whoa. Now I'm just trying to make sure this ain't no bullshit going on here. Okay, oh, never mind. It was an article. It was a troll article. I'm about to say, wait a minute. I'm about to say, Undertaker going to AEW. What?
Oh yeah, bro. I saw that too. I was like, that cannot be real.
Yeah, my man can't walk. That man got an iron hip, bro. He's not going.
I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
That's like when they said Brock Lesnar was going to AEW. I was like, y'all stop lying, bro. Stop.
Oh man, they ain't got enough money for Brock. Brock ain't doing nothing.
Hell no. UFC ain't got enough money for Brock Lesnar.
For real? Come on, bro. No, that ain't happening, man. All right, so hey man, again, we appreciate it, man. But K-Styles, you already know what to do. You ain't got to go home,
but you got to get the hell up out of here.
All right, man. Peace, love. Everybody check out Atlanta Falcons Nation FILA Sports Podcast, man. That's all I got to say about that, man. But peace, man. Thank you guys for joining us.
Hey, I had to do Scott Hall right quick.